This is Joy News Prime.
Hello and welcome. My name is Israel Lai and this is Joy News Prime here on Joy News and Multi TV. Coming up, Accra Mayor assures the city should not see another flood on the scale as witnessed on June 3 last year, resulting in the loss of about 150 lives. The national coordinator of the National Disaster Management Organization, however, says Ghana will be unable to tackle the perennial flooding problems until some technical and engineering problems are addressed. One official of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture killed in another robbery in the Ashanti region.
And in business, oil marketing companies speculate about 7% increase in prices of petroleum products in the first pricing window in June, but Chamber of Petroleum Consumers insists increase must be 3%.
Also in the bulletin, the owner of a boat that capsized at Yeji, leading to the death of at least 16 people, has been arrested in the Brahafo region. Will also be sport, entertainment, and Joy News Interactive. Joy News Prime is also available across Europe on London-based ABN television. Stay tuned. Accra Mayor Alfred Oko-Vanderpoy has assured Accra is unlikely to ever see flooding on the scale as was witnessed in the June 3 tragedy last year. An estimated 150 people lost their lives when an explosion at a filling station in Accra, where pedestrians are taking shelter during a downpour, tossed them into floodwaters. The mayor at a news conference on Wednesday says considerable work has been done to avert another tragedy this year.
Mayor of Accra, Alfred Oko-Vanderpoy, has given a strong word that this year, Accra will not see floods in the manner that resulted in the death of dozens across the capital, key among which is the twin disaster at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle. Mr. Vanderpoy says he is sure the impact of the floods will be minimal this year because over the past, at least 40% of the projects required to solve flooding in the capital city have been completed.
I am here this morning to report officially to you that Accra is standing better than the days of June 3rd. That the commitment to make sure that we remove all obstacles, the silt and dredge, the Kole and the Oddo, to ensure water will flow whenever it rains in Accra, will continue and continue unabated. That is my assurance on behalf of government to the people of Accra and indeed the whole nation, that the people's capital is ever safe than before. You are witnesses to the fact that last week we had 3 or 4 days of severe rains and the city was able to withstand the circumstances and the aftermath of the rain. That is 40% of the work that needs to be done.
Meanwhile, the CEO of the National Petroleum Authority has pledged to donate 1 million Ghana cedi to the Kolebu Burns Unit in lieu of the support it offered to victims in last year's disaster.
Since after June 3rd, a lot of measures have been taken to make sure that we tighten the safety and integrity of our fuel stations, especially in crowded cities. Also, to solidarize with the situation that happened on June 3rd, the National Petroleum Authority has committed approximately 1 million cedis to refurbish the Burns unit in Kolebu, so that into the future, when we get burns, at least we'll get a place for treatment.
AMA has set aside 3 days from Friday, June 3 through to Sunday for a commemoration of the June 3 flood and fire disaster with a lineup of activities where memorial service amidst other events will be used to commemorate the disaster.
So now, while the Accra mayor is sounding so confident about doing enough to avert flooding, the National Disaster Management Organization says it fears that until some engineering and technical issues are addressed, Ghana will be unable to fix the perennial flooding situation in Accra and other parts of the country. Speaking to Joy News in an exclusive interview, the National Coordinator of NADMO, Brigadier General Francis Vib Sanziri, says some major drains that are supposed to channel water into the sea are still choked, while others have not been connected. Yes, meanwhile, rejected suggestions NADMO should be involved in preventing floods.
Last year, the Odo River was silted. The Kole Lagoon was equally silted and jammed with waste. And all this prevented the free flow of water into the sea. We have so many drains. The Nima drain, Accra Academy drains, Malam Junction drain. These are all drains that are not having the free flow. If you go to Malam Junction, there is a filling station that has blocked the river. Total filling station. Accra Academy, there is supposed to be a major drain under the road at First Light. That major drain, which even though it exists, is not connected to the main water course that is coming in front of Accra Academy. So with all these things I'm citing, not well connected and silted, there is no way we will have a free flow of water to the sea. And those areas are always flooded because of these reasons I've assigned. So come to think of it, floods can come, but our ultimate objective will always be that when they come and go, we should save lives. Nobody should be affected. And how can we do that? We can only do this. We can't prevent the floods. We can only mitigate the effects of the floods.
Is that what NADMO is doing?
Yes, NADMO, our objective is not to, we cannot prevent floods. We can mitigate the effects.
So the disaster must take place before?
No, mitigating the effects doesn't mean you should wait for the disaster to come. Mitigating the effects of the flood could be getting in, if we have early warning of an impending downpour, and we are able to caution the people in those flood-prone areas that this is going to happen and we're likely to have floods, move out of the area. We will save lives. You don't have to wait till the disaster comes, the water floods the place before you move in. You move out, caution the people, assist them to move out of the area into a safe haven before the floods get in.
Elsewhere, the owner of a boat that capsized at JG, leading to the death of at least 16 people, has been arrested in the Brahafo region for negligence. Though the death toll of 16 represents the number of bodies that have so far been retrieved from the lake following the accident on Sunday, witnesses suggest there are others who are yet to be accounted for. The boat was said to be carrying more than 70 people when it hit a stump and capsized at JG. JG District Police Commander DSP Abraham Bansa confirmed the arrest to Joy News.
Arrested, in fact, the operator was arrested 2 days today, and the other was also arrested yesterday. Yes, but as now, we have questioned them, and then we are preparing a deputy doctor to send to the AG's office for advice. You know, when you're operating this boat, the operator wasn't you have to have a license, but the operator wasn't licensed. Okay? Yes. So that's what I'm saying, that this is a provincial charge anyway. We gave him a provincial charge. That's what I'm saying, that we are preparing the duplicate docket to be sent to the Attorney General's office for advice. We just started, so that's when you'll finish.
Say by close of week?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Is the police looking at arresting any more people?
No. Apart from these 2 people, I don't think you arrest anybody again.
Okay. the recovery efforts, maybe you could give us an update on the official statistics we are getting now. As of yesterday, the information we had was that we had 16 bodies that had been recovered.
No, it's not 16, it's 15 rather, 15. Not
15.
15, yes.
That's the official number?
Yes, 15, that's the official number.
Okay. But there remains a possibility that a lot more bodies may have been recovered between yesterday and now. Seeing that
we have not found anybody again.
So that's it.
Do you hear me? Hello.
Yes, I'm listening to you, sir. So you're saying there isn't any possibility that
anybody again today.
Okay. Okay. Right. Anyway.
Apart from the 15th. Yes.
Okay. DSP Brown Bansa, many thanks for your time here on News Desk, and DSP Brown Bansa is with the.
The municipal chief executive for the area tells JNU strict adherence to safety practices on the lake will be ensured in order to prevent a recurrence of such a disaster. Now, Live FM's Daniel Techi also joins me on the phone with the very latest on the tragedy. Good evening to you, Daniel. Are there any teams still involved in search and rescue efforts, or they've given up hope of finding any survivors?
As I speak now, the search team has given up, and there have been the directives by the DISEC and also the search team. As I speak now, I spoke to the presiding member of the area, Honorable Wisdom Kwesizo. He confirmed to me that an additional body has been found, which is 2. So in addition to whatever has been confirmed by the police, it means we can add this one, making 17 as I speak now.
All right. We're also told that corpses are being washed ashore in the nearby communities. Can you confirm that, and how many of such bodies have been discovered?
As I speak now, I learned in Pejaya number 1 body has been found, and in Adnakope, Dasikope rather, in another village called Dasikope, there was another body which was found. But as I speak now, the bodies are going bad and they are decomposed, so there is no way they can bring them to the various, they can bring them to Yeji as I speak now. So the directive was anybody at all who finds a dead body along the lakeside should just call the search team and also confirm the number of bodies found there, after which they are being given the go-ahead to bury those bodies.
Now, the 2 bodies you just tell me that have been discovered at various points on the lake, are they different from what was confirmed to you by the presiding member you mentioned earlier?
No, they are not different. You know, the one confirmed by the police, which I also made a follow-up and make sure I follow and count the number of victims that were retrieved from the lake, were the one that the policeman has confirmed to you. But as I speak now, just about 10-15 minutes ago, when I spoke with the presiding member, he confirmed to me that these 2 bodies too were found in Dasikope and Pejaya number 2.
Now, Daniel, has there been any change in the safety protocols on the lake, or it's business as usual?
As I speak, this police commander, together with the Navy commander, as well as the other people who were involved in the search, has made it known to us that all who want to travel on the lake have to be in the safety life jacket. Therefore, whoever refuses to put on these jackets will not be allowed to board any boat in terms of traveling on the Volta Lake.
But are they enforcing this?
It's perfect, but the DISEC has given an ultimatum to, they said they are going to meet the boat owners association come 7th of June. 7th of June, they will meet the boat owners association. The DC, who is the head of the DISEC, also confirmed to me that they will make sure all the boats operating on the lake have to get some insurance cover so that in case of any accident on the lake, those passengers on board will be getting some compensation by those insurance companies.
All right, thank you very much, Daniel Techi. Daniel Techi is with Alive FM. In a related development, the National Disaster Management Organization says it is the responsibility of the Maritime Authority to maintain safety on the Volta Lake, where a number of lives have been lost to boat tragedies. Reacting to the latest accident at Yeji, where at least 17 deaths have been confirmed in Sunday's tragedy, the national coordinator of NADMO said that naval detachment that is patrolling the area may be too small to deal with the situation on the lake. Brigadier General Francis Vibbs Nziri believes if the bearings on which the boat on the lake traveler identified, it could go a long way to cut down on accidents on the lake.
Authority is responsible for that. It's not NADMO's job to provide those things. We would go in if it happens, but it's not our job to keep safety in the maritime environment. So it is, every group has a job. It's when it happens this way we have to go in. The safety on all our waters is Ghana Maritime Authority. They have to ensure the safety of the boats, ensure the boats have the necessary safety equipment. That is their responsibility. When the accident happens, it's an accident, and we would go to assist. That is what we can do. Maritime Authority has placed detachment of Navy in Yeji to take care of the safety of the lake. But I believe the naval detachment is just too small to be able to man the whole lake, being positioned at Yeji. I wish they had the capability to cover a number of areas along the lake to make sure they inspect the serviceability of the boats that are plying the place. And the routes they use, there should be specific routes that all the boats should ply and not pass anywhere you want.
Have you advised them?
Yes, we've advised that. I've talked to the Navy, at least, and I intend, we have some boats, and I've talked to the Navy, I intend giving the Navy, we have some speedboats, at least to place about 2 of those speedboats to assist them in attending to some of these things on the lake. Even if you take aircrafts in the air, they don't move anyhow. You have specific bearings that they take, and they move on that. So that is what I think if we do, they'll be able to be sure that this particular bearing from this point, if you are going to this town across the river, you must go on this bearing or through this particular area. If you do it that way, we'll be able to get the Navy and other maritime authorities to ensure that there are no stamps within that portion of the river. Because what we're hearing is this boat that had an accident last week, it hit a storm. But if we have a specific area that they are to pass, we'll be able to work out to clear the storms in that area and compel all boats to use those specific routes on the lake. That might help reduce these accidents. They're becoming too frequent.
You're watching Joy News Prime. We're taking a break. When we come back, we have more stories. Please don't go away. Embattled businessman Alfred Agbashi-Woyome has described as unlawful attempt by the Attorney General to auction off some of his properties. Proceeds from the auction are to help repay a judgment that the Supreme Court says was unlawfully paid to the businessman. Among the properties is a building at Behe here in Accra. In a reply to a notice sent by the AG to Mr. Woyome on Tuesday, lawyers for the businessman described the AG's action as a booby trap. My colleague Fred Smith has more on this issue.
According to the president of the Judicial Service Staff Association,
Mr. Alfred Agbashi-Woyome's lawyers are claiming that the subject, the building, which is a subject of dispute today, is in court. The matter is before the court. UT Bank is making claims that they own that property, and so the Attorney General is challenging that, and that matter has not been concluded. It's still in court. So Mr. Alfred Agbashi-Woyome's lawyers believe that, or he himself, they believe that they should exhaust that process before any actions. If the AG would want to take any action on that particular property, they commence it. And so the letter we received, that's 2 days ago from the AG, they are saying that they will be valuing the property, and it's located here at Behe near Kukumlemle. The valuation will be done tomorrow at 10 a.m. The Lands Commission has been notified to do this, so they're going to do it. But the letter that was sent to Mr. Woyome, he was copied in this letter, and UT that is making the claim is not in copy, and therefore Mr. Woyome and his lawyers are contesting that, well, if you are aware that UT is making claim for that property, why don't you keep UT on copy so they are aware of what is happening, especially because they know this matter is still before the court. The state attorney did not, or the AG did not indicate that they are aware at all that the UT Bank is making claim for this particular property. And so it is only the letter sent by Mr. Woyome that raises the issue of UT making that claim, and that brings to fore the case that's before the court. I'm sure there'll be a lot of drama tomorrow because the Lands Commission will be visiting the property that's at Pehe to do the valuation, and Mr. Woyome also believes, they've actually stated in the letter that it's unlawful that the AG goes behind the legal processes that's already underway to value the property in a bid to sell it off.
JUSAG has finally called off its almost 2-week strike following several discussions with government over the harmonization of their salaries and allowances. The judicial service workers are expected to resume work immediately after abandoning their post following the declaration of the strike. Emmanuel Ante has been speaking to JUSAG President Alex Nate on the latest development.
According to the president of the Judicial Service Staff Association of Ghana, JUSAG, Alex Nate, a marathon negotiation between the association, government and other stakeholders yielded positive results, hence their decision to call off the strike.
Had consultations and held National Executive Council meetings yesterday, and we have had some consensus with government. We have had a framework within which the implementation process is going to be handled. And so the implementation committee, being the presidential committee and that of the Judicial Council, will start meeting today on the processes. Such being the case, it is no longer necessary to be on strike. We have therefore called off the strike.
Government, in consultation with stakeholders, has decided to implement the consolidated salary as recommended by the Judicial Council. The association has therefore called on its staff nationwide to resume work immediately. JUSAG embarked on an indefinite strike on May 19. The industrial action brought work at the courts to a halt, leaving litigants and lawyers stranded.
The KUNTENASE police in the Bosumtwi district of the Ashanti region have launched investigations into yet another robbery in which an official of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture was shot dead. Joseph Ba Trineboa was shot in the presence of his wife and children at a Butum new site Tuesday night. The 3 armed men also wounded 3 of the deceased children and assaulted the wife before bolting with laptops, mobile phones, and an unspecified amount of money. Insurance firm Ohiming Tuya has been to the scene and joins us on the telephone with more. Good evening to you, Ohiming. It appears we do not have Ohiming, or we just lost Ohiming on the line. We'll try and reach him back. All right, good evening to you, Ohiming.
Good evening, Israel.
All right, so you've been to the scene of this robbery. What can you tell us?
Yes, Israel, it's been made a feeling for residents of Abuontem new site in the Bosumtwi district. They have known and even spoken, some of them had spoken to the lead Mr. Joseph Ba Trineboa a few minutes before he was attacked and shot by the robbers. So news of his demise spread like wildfire in the area. So for residents and the family, they have been mourning. Some of them could not even control themselves. As the once in a while, they enter the house to see, and they also see the blood-stained compound of the late Mr. Trineboa.
Now, What are the police saying? Have they made any headway, or do they have any leads as to the suspects who may have been involved in this?
Not at all, not now, but police believe strongly that the robbers are linked to the earlier identified group gang that police have been pursuing in the region. It is suspected that these same robbers have been going around killing innocent residents, terrorizing people. So yes, police believe strongly that it's the same group. So they are still pursuing them to ensure that one day they will be able to arrest them.
I would imagine that residents in the area will be really troubled and concerned about their safety.
They are very, very concerned, but the police have assured them that since, for instance, since last night, what police have been doing is to increase their presence in the area. When I spoke to the district commander, ASP Amponsan SPM, he said yes, police will increase their foot patrol and also their motorbike patrols, and as well as send more men to the area, because the place is very weedy. They need even to clear the area, and that is why police suspect that people, the robbers are taking advantage of such areas to attack innocent residents.
Right, thank you very much, Ohiming Tuya, and Sure FM's Ohiming Tuya, bringing us up to speed with this latest robbery, we're told, happening somewhere in the Ashanti region. We're taking a break. When we come back, we'll bring you business news. Time for business, and Emmanuel Abajo-Yafi is here. Good evening to you, Emmanuel.
Good evening, sir.
I tend to like your suit. This is it's a really good one.
Also.
Yeah?
See, yeah.
What's coming up in business?
Well, in business, June is here, and it means that the first window, the pricing window, is also here. And now, Chamber of Petroleum Consumers is speculating that there should be a 3% increase in the products of the prices of petroleum products, whilst OMCs are saying it should be between 3 and 7%, which means maybe they go for the higher side. 7%.
Okay, so whichever way it is, we're going to see an increase in...
Definitely, because of the rebound in global oil prices. Even though there has been some stability, marginal stability in the price of the dollar, I mean the cedi against the dollar, the marked rebound would cater for an increase in prices.
We should be worried.
Definitely.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much for joining me once again on Business. Petroleum Consumers is predicting a 3% price increase of petroleum products in the first pricing window for the month of June. The increment, they say, follows a rebound in the global oil market prices of crude oil, which is now trading around $50 per barrel. The last review saw an increase of about 3% in the prices of petroleum products. Executive Secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, Duncan Amoah, explains what informs the prediction.
Out of figures that we independently pick from the market, and together with what prevails on the world market, and the amount of taxes also factored in, together with the cedi-dollar exchange, we were able to arrive at some 2.7 XPI differential, and that clearly informed the 3% that we feel currently should be the way forward.
So it's still within that range of 2 to 7% for PMS.
But that is quite wide. It's very wide. So how do we make decisions? We just want some kind of a workable range, so we know, okay, fine, it's going to be 4%, 5%, or maybe say 15% from the previous price. I mean, I'm sure you know by now.
It's so early. I mean, we also deal with suppliers, so you go back and negotiate with them until you arrive at a fair price before you can now stick your neck out and say, I'm doing 2% or 3%. So that is still work in progress. So if you can wait till maybe tomorrow or Friday, I'm sure the final prices will be this.
Okay.
Well, so on the other hand, some oil marketing companies say the current dynamics in the industry warrant them to increase prices by between 2 and 7%. Sharing his thoughts on the marketplace, the MD of Ungin Petroleum, Henry Akwabwa, said oil marketing companies are following the appropriate pricing formula based mainly on global crude prices and other key determinants under the deregulation regime, and would react accordingly.
We use the plus formula to arrive at the S refinery price. So automatically, if the price is going up, then definitely you see the price also moving in that direction. And that's exactly what is happening now. Of course, the rate of exchange also has a role to play. We need to understand who does the imports of products into the country. I mean, these are consumers who may be speculating as to what a percentage increase will be. But I mean, we are dealing with the real issues here. What the prices prevailing on the international market, how much it arrives here, how much it lands here, etc., which all goes into the formula to determine the price. I did indicate that it's between 2 to 7%. So it's just the beginning of the window. If you drive around, you'll notice that most oil marketing companies have not adjusted their prices. You know, we're still in the process of working it out. I believe in the next 2 or 3 days, we'll see what the real increment will be. We also deal with suppliers, so you go back, negotiate with them until you arrive at a fair price before you can now stick your neck out and say, I'm doing 2% or 3%. So that is still work in progress. If you can wait till maybe tomorrow or Friday, I'm sure the final prices will be good.
All right, so that was Henry Akwabwa, MD for Engine Petroleum. Now, moving away, the country's economic downturn has forced mining firms to explore new technologies to improve efficiency in their operations. The high cost of production due to difficult economic times has resulted in job losses in the sector. Speaking with Joy Business, Chief Executive Officer of the Minerals Commission, Dr. Tony Orbin, said investing in improved technologies is the way to go. He spoke with Joy Business at the opening of the 12th edition of the West African Mining and Power Conference and Exhibition held in Accra.
The challenge of having to ensure you use power very efficiently is leading to the development of a lot of efficient resources that are being used in the power industry. I mean, you can talk about solar energy now gaining some prominence as against a few years when the world was relying largely on hydro and a few other sources of power. In mining, you would see that technologies will be coming up to ensure that low cost or low grade ore are mined cost efficiently. So these are the opportunities for us to learn and to discuss and to even propose new technologies and new ideas of ensuring that the two industries, the power and mining industries, continue to maintain its prominent position in Ghana.
Are we getting close to, if you like, bridging the gap or catching up with those advanced countries that are employing a lot of technology in their mining, as you said, to cut back on costs because it would be very efficient? How wide is the gap?
In mining, I don't think there's a big gap because most of the key mining operators in this country are multinationals who are operating similar mines elsewhere. I have had the opportunity to visit some of the mines, and I can tell you, and I did so with some institutional heads, and we were amazed how comparable one could make with what is here.
Now, Chief Executive Officer of the Chamber of Mines, Suleiman Ukoni, added his voice to the need for mining firms to invest in new technologies.
I think it's so critical given where we are as an industry. We know where we have come from. The years of boom are actually behind us. And as an industry which unfortunately has a situation where its revenue is determined largely by forces outside its control, it's actually confronted with how to manage its costs. And it's so important that we actually get together, deliberate on how we can be more efficient, reducing our costs, at the same time engaging with duty bearers, particularly government, regarding some of the stumbling blocks to mining investment. So the critical thing is that we're at a point where we need to marshal forces so that we actually provide the kind of enabling environments which will allow companies to invest. Hopefully by the time the investments are made and production starts, we should be able to see a rebound in the price of gold such that we should, as a country, benefit. But if you wait for so long to wait for the price of gold to go up before you start looking at measures to improve productivity and efficiency, then we'll lose out should there be a rebound. So this conference is quite critical in the life of the mining industry and in the life of the country as well.
It's now time to go to the stock market, and John is here to tell us what's trending on the markets. Good evening, John.
Good evening, Emmanuel.
Okay, so what's up?
Yeah, the market today really not do well as it keeps contracting by the day. Today recorded a total volume of 28,070. Very, very low in terms of volume traded on the market. If you look at the history of the market, this is quite low. And we keep seeing these kind of disinterest in the market as a lot of people are actually moving away from the Ghana Stock Exchange onto other investment platforms such as the other market. Now, the total value of 50,453. That's quite insignificant. But so that brought the market capitalization very low to 54,220,000,007. That's also there. That brought also the CI, that's a composite index, to 12.20 year on year as it dropped by 6.75. And then the financial index also dropped by 6.44 to close the year 14.68. You see this actually expanding or increasing very fast, meaning that a lot of people are losing money as this actually moves on or it grows. So that's exactly how it is. Now, Aluwex actually returned 1 peso to their investors as it closed the market today, 10 pesos. So if you want to, tomorrow if you want to buy Aluwex share, one will cost you just 10 pesos. So depending on how much you have, you can actually multiply and buy as many as possible. PBC, that's Produce Buying Company, also lost 1 peso. Total lost 8 pesos. And Standard Chartered Bank lost 22 pesos per share. So tomorrow, Standard Chartered Bank will be opening the market at 14 Ghana cedis, 28 cents. So that's exactly how the Ghana Stock Exchange actually did behave. These were PBC, Total, Standard Chartered Bank were the losers, as against the only gainer, Aluwex, also losing 1. Now let's look at the commodities and how they fared. These are the commodities of Ghanaian interest. Crude oil gained marginally, just about 1 cent, to be trading around $49.89 per barrel, as gold lost $4 to be trading around 1,211 per ounce, and cocoa also have, this is lost about $49, quite significant there, and trading currently around 3,010. So that's exactly how the commodity market is actually behaving today. But that market is still ongoing, so we still would want to look at whether to buy tomorrow. Oil will hit the $50 mark. And then the CD against the US dollar, it's almost the same as yesterday. Against the US dollar, the CD lost. Against the British pound, it lost. Against the euro, it's also lost. But that loss was quite significant. But against the Chinese yuan, the CD was quite stronger against it and gained against the CFA franc. So that's exactly how it is. And so these are the values, and these are the interbank values. And that market will open tomorrow with these prices. Basically, that's exactly how it is. So, if you ask me, that is the state of the market, contracting by the Ghana Stock Exchange. Some analysts are saying it is not as attractive as it used to, but like we always say, this is the time to actually get to the market. So if you got prices so low, and they can sell high when the market actually recovers.
My concern is the fact that the crude oil price is quickly moving up, and already we are sensing an increase in petroleum products in the country. Is this a necessary evil? Is this something we should be happy about?
It depends on where you stand, Emmanuel, because if you are a producer of oil, naturally you would want to see the price go up. But if you're a consumer, you want to see the price come down. But as to whether that will materialize here in Ghana, because as prices, international prices go down, we have a lot of tax component in there that makes prices not reflect the market. So we live to see Ghanaians never enjoyed that deeply. That's it.
Thank you very much for that update. Join John on the marketplace for detailed analysis of the market every day at 1 p.m. My name is Emmanuel Abuaji. We have more news coming up. Don't go away yet.
Well, I want to say thank you to Ima and John for bringing us business news. But in other news, Chairman of the National Peace Council, Most Reverend Professor Emmanuel Asante, has called on Ghanaians to exercise a high sense of tolerance in the build-up to the 2016 general elections. He says any attempt to undermine the integrity of the election must be considered as an affront to the people of Ghana. Professor Asante has been speaking at the launch of Muslim and Zongo Communities Unite for Peaceful Election 2016, organized by the Light Foundation.
Mr. Chairman, only if we, as citizens of this country, allow our electioneering campaigns, whether we are actively involved or we are just passive observants, to be characterized with civility, issue-based, and we exercise a high sense of tolerance, living and letting other people also live. And not only that, transparency and peaceful atmosphere must characterize our elections. We cannot afford that any time we approach the election year, our hearts will have to be on fire. We will be sitting on thorns simply because we are going to elect somebody who will be our president and our parliamentary candidates. I don't see the reason why this should be the norm. Any attempt, ladies and gentlemen, to undermine the integrity of the elections through intimidation, attempt to rig, must be considered as affront not only to any political party, but to the people of Ghana, to the people of Ghana. The call then is for all and sundry to commit themselves to peaceful, transparent, and electioneering activities devoid of rancor, intimidation, and provocative invectives.
Senior Research Fellow at the Legon Center for International Affairs and Diplomacy, Dr. Vladimir Introdanso, also cautioned political actors against interference in the activities of state institutions. Dr. Introdanso explained that the autonomy of state institutions was crucial in any democracy.
We must respect the autonomy and uniqueness of every state institution. In a state where you don't have confidence in state institutions, there is the possibility of conflict at any point in time. Unfortunately for us, state institutions are mostly at the beck and call of the party in power. That is what makes it kind of imperative for other parties to interfere. But the more we allow such a situation to fester, the more we are courting conflict, because nothing done by that institution will be acceptable by all. So in a good democracy, you allow the institutions to do what they say they want to do, and you challenge them only on the constitutionality of their actions.
Meanwhile, the executive president of the Light Foundation, Sheikh Alina Poe, has outlined some activities the foundation will be undertaking to ensure a peaceful 2016 election.
The Light Foundation finds it appropriate to initiate a series of interventions in the build-up to November 2016 general elections. The proposed activities to be embarked upon in this intervention include appealing to our imams to incorporate peace messages during their Ramadan lectures, community peace debates by using religious gathering and other social activities, training of peer educators, that's ambassadors, community early conflict detection and resolution committee, peace games, interfaith dialogue, and inter-party cleanup campaigns.
The running mate of the New Patriotic Party flag bearer, Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, is urging the people of the Volta region to trade their vote with the MPP in the 2016 general elections for rapid development, considering they have not received value for their vote for the NDC. Dr. Bawumia, who made stops in some communities during his tour of the whole West constituency in the region, said it is high time they gave the MPP a chance, assuring they will not be shortchanged.
It's a simple one. We want change. We have seen that the NDC under President Mahama has been in power for 8 years. And then what we expect to happen in a country in terms of development, we haven't seen. We want to come here and plead with the people to say that if you are only shopping in one market and you don't try the other, you won't know how good that market is. We have shopped in the NDC market for a long time. It is time to also think about us, think about the MPP and what we can do. We believe that under under the AKUFO-ADDO government, we can do a lot to better the lot of our people in Ghana. Our youth don't have jobs. They finish school and they are there. They are at home. They cannot find jobs. The economy is not growing. Agric is not growing. In fact, today we are importing foodstuffs from other countries, basic foodstuffs like plantain and cassava. We need to change. We need to grow the economy. We need to solve our problems. Here I gather that even the telephone network is not working. And this is the district capital. It's unbelievable. Even the telephone network is not working. The water problem is still a major problem here. Now, when you vote a government into office, you expect at least some very basic things to be done. But 8 years after the NDC being in office, we are not seeing those things. We want you to give us a chance. We will build an economy that is going to be a competitive economy. We will create jobs because we will bring in industrialization. We will grow agriculture.
Dr. Bawumia made reference to the development the MPP brought to the region when it was in power. He also reiterated nurses and teacher training allowances will be restored when the MPP wins the elections, while numerous policies will be implemented to create enormous jobs for the citizenry and revamp the country's agriculture sector.
We will make sure that national health insurance is strengthening the game. We will restore the teacher training allowance and the nursing training allowance. And probably I want you to take my word that if I am there, I will be giving you a phone call because you will have a telephone network in the district here. I will promise you and your people that we will make sure it happens because we need to have an economy that is very, very dynamic, and you cannot have places such as this that are not connected to the telephone network. So we are asking you to trust the NPP, to try us. As you eat one soup for so long, you don't know that there are sweeter soups somewhere. So I believe that in our kitchen the soup is very sweet. So you should come in and let us work together. And you should trust us, and I would just say very humbly that Mikadezenyi ne miadonpo. Mikadezenyi ne miadonpo. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Dr. Bawumia, who was accompanied by regional executives of the MPP and some bigwigs of the party in the region, including Elizabeth Ohene, spoke to chiefs at Chito, Paje, Jolo, Pita, Amajofe, and Abutiate, all in the whole West constituency. Up next, we're bringing you international news. All right, so my Joy News Interactive sidekick is here, and she's going to tell us what's coming up.
And I must say, you're looking great in your jacket.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so in just about 30 minutes, we'll be on the most interactive segment. So let's check out what's coming up. Now, President John Mahama will soon have dual citizenship as President of Ivory Coast. We'll be honoring him with the honorary citizenship. What do you make of this?
You will not wake up one day and someone will name this or a baby after you. Someone will do that probably because you might have done something good, or you possess that image that naming this or a baby after you will bring a good news into the life of the baby and the family the baby represents.
Well, maybe good or bad. Also, owner of boats that capsized and killed 16 people has been arrested.
Should rather look at how to address it. Is an annual event, honestly. It is an annual event. If it is they are responsible person, the Shippers Council is there, those managing the Volta League, I'm told they have a Navy officials that are always assigned there periodically. If they put in place the right mechanism, I don't think some of these things should be occurring.
All right, so that tells you how interactive it's going to be. I'll be back to take all your comments on the trending issues on the interactive segment.
All right, so there'll be all the trending issues, and then I promise you I have an interesting trending tweet which I'm going to share with you. So that's all coming up. You just have to stick and stay, and we'll be with you in a bit. But up in a bit, we have the headlines. Now, the mayor of Accra has assured the city should not see another flood on the scale as witnessed on June 3 last year, resulting in the loss of about 150 lives. The national coordinator of the National Disaster Management Organization, however, says Ghana will be unable to tackle the perennial flooding problems until some technical and engineering problems are addressed. One official of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture has been killed in another robbery in the Ashanti region. In business, all marketing companies are speculating about 7% increase in prices of petroleum products in the first pricing window in June. But the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers insists the increase must be just about 3%. In other news, the Convention People's Party says it is poised to win the November elections. The chairman of the party, Professor Edmond Dele, says the CPP is not leaving anything to chance in its campaign to return the party to the Flagstaff House to change the economic fortunes of Ghana. Professor Dele was speaking at the 50th birthday party of the presidential candidate of the party, Ivor Greenstreet.
And to signal to all Ghanaians and to all people all over the world that we are making history this time. And the history is that this is the first time in Africa that a person who has a disability has been elected as the flag bearer of the Convention People's Party. A massive support, 64.4% of all CPP members voted for him. And I believe strongly that it's the work of God. Who chooses leaders? It's not human beings. It's God who chooses leaders. That is why I'm proud to see that we are all assembled here to give the support, the blessings to Greenstreet. I am confident as your leader that never again shall the CPP be treated as a small party. Never again shall we have a disunited CPP. All of you should come on board, because the green train is on its way to victory, to the Flagstaff House. So I call on all members of the Convention People's Party and all supporters of the Convention People to come on. We have said, and we continue to say, that this is the time for the Convention People's Party. We brought independence to Ghana, and our next step now is to do what? Bring economic independence to our country and to Africa. We are the leaders of the African political scene, and we are back again. I also want to give thanks to members of the Convention People's Party that you have taken this small man, I call myself Gaziere Bayoragwa, to come and carry out this serious matter. And I say, and I pledge that your choice shall not be something done in vain. And I promise you that there is no way that the Convention People's Party is going to lose these elections. We shall campaign in the streets. We shall campaign on top of the trees. We shall go to heaven and hear that CPP is back. We shall go under the waters, to the fishes, to the birds in the air, to the villages, to the cottages, to the markets, and we will sing the name of Greenstreet and tell us that once the Savior has come, he's the young Nkrumah who has come. And Nkrumah never fails. Nkrumah never dies. Greenstreet, it is your responsibility to take this party to the highest. We are either going to be first or with the first.
Elsewhere, the MPP flag bearer is accusing the NDC of neglecting the fisherfolk at Teshin, who for years have been loyal to the party. AKUFO-ADDO says high premixed fuel prices and soaring electricity tariffs have rendered the sector unprofitable for most fishermen. This, he says, is compounded by the lack of political will to stop illegal pair trawling that deplete the fish stock with that deplete the fish stock. And ADDO is promising to revamp the sector when elected.
The NPP flag bearer continued his campaign tour of the Greater Accra region with a visit to the Lejokuku and Kroa constituencies. Residents who mainly rely on fishing for survival complained about the unavailability and high cost of premixed fuel for the operations. They also indicated astronomical electricity tariffs make it virtually impossible to operate cold storage facilities to store their catch. Nana Akufo-ADDO promised a gathering of the chiefs and people of the area that his government, when given the chance, will bring back prosperity to the fishing industry.
2012, Deputy Minister
before the 2012 elections, Namwale came here to cut the sword for the construction of the landing site, which is now at a standstill. I'm here to plead with you to try me and see. If given the opportunity, I will work diligently.
Try me. Try me. Try me. Yeah, try me and see. I blame you. I feel me panify, Kagala be fry, you blame bear army. Niliake, Kenya Hammy Bear, Nimba, Nishumo Papa Mama Chuan, you fair, you fair, Mobana.
Next up, we bring you entertainment. All right, so she always gives us something to talk about. Tonight, she's giving us something to talk about herself.
What was that?
Your bling bling.
Okay, all right, yeah.
So that and your watch.
Oh, really? I didn't even notice. You're telling me. This is actually a gift to you. Okay. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay, all right.
You're sparkling.
Am I? Oh, I love your look. This is what do they call this color?
Let's not go into colors.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm bad with colors or art colors or whatever.
What's coming up?
I've got great news for you. I'm excited today. You know how we sat here like last week and talked about how Davido is tarnishing Dele Momodu's image, reputation, and all that. Guess who I got to interact with today?
Must be Dele Momodu.
Oh my goodness! I met up with Chief Dele Momodu, and we spoke about all that Davido has said about him. Dele na my boy, Dele na my boy. What he makes of it, and all that. He says, look, it'll be childish for me to respond to all of that. He makes some fantastic submission you'll love to hear.
I've never responded to it. This is the first time. Even the first video he released, Austin, I don't speak Igbo, but I thought it was negative, so I called his father, and his father has been my friend and big brother of so many years. So it's just unfortunate what happened. Success is always a very tough thing to manage, and your fans can mislead you sometimes. So I know that what he's doing is what most artists do all over the world, which is to sell his album. You want to sell your record, you want to sell, so you have to create controversy. Sometimes I don't think David will see me face to face and say I'm his boy, I'm his father.
But he goes on. I've seen a video of him performing somewhere, and his fans are chanting. He said, "Dele, am I comfortable with that?"
Very. Oh, will I fight my own child? I can fight him. And now we're connected together for life through that baby. I can never fight David. David is too small to. Never, never.
You don't think he should be called to order?
He didn't call me a thief. He said I'm his boy. So do I look like anybody's boy? So why should I react to something? You understand? It means that I'm childish. If I begin to respond, people can say anything on social media. But there is no way. And he didn't mention my father's name. He said Dele na my boy. There are so many Deles in Nigeria.
The tweet tagged you. I mentioned you in that tweet.
Anybody can tag me because I'm one of the Deles in Nigeria. I love his music. On Ovation TV, almost every week they are playing Osinachi, despite the fact that Osinachi was supposed to be using style to,
It's true. I think he makes some fantastic submissions. And he's like a matured person.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Like you'd expect any typically matured person to speak.
No, but what about the issue? I'm sure you want to know about the issue of what happened at the airport, where Chief had actually made a call to the immigration not to allow Davido to travel with Imadi. That's the daughter that
Why you asked him that too?
I did ask him. He says that is so uncomfortable. He wished never happened, but it actually had to happen.
Trust me, I didn't even know they were dating. I didn't know about the baby even until they started having problems. Sophie never told me anything. I did because I'm never around. I'm traveling all the time. I'm not the kind of person who will be chasing my families to know you are pregnant, you're not pregnant. I didn't know that. I didn't know she was pregnant. No, but the airport scene would have been avoided, and it's something that I'm not comfortable with. And I will never be comfortable with it. But we had no choice. But I'm happy that David's dad is such a fantastic gentleman. He realized the point we were trying to prove, and he quickly made amends.
What about all the allegations leveled against your cousin that the baby was taken away from her because she was using hard drugs, and because of that, the baby was also affected in certain ways?
You know, as we discovered, all those things were mere allegations, and I will leave it at that. They were mere allegations. There was no proof. You know, anybody can set you up, give a dog a bad name to hang it. But I'm not trying to defend my cousin, but I can tell you that Sophia is not a druggie. You know.
What's your stance on Davido not marrying your cousin?
Every childbirth cannot lead to marriage. I'm not, but they're adults. Who says they can't marry tomorrow? It's their business.
Hey, my favor, they want to spoil my career. And I know say I get the flavor. You feel taxing Nabanya. I forgive and I forget.
And indeed, he continued to speak well.
Okay. All right. So
a typically mature person.
Well,
especially the part about who says they can marry tomorrow.
Well, who says they can marry tomorrow?
They can. They're mature adults, and you didn't think that all relationships should end up in marriage.
I see. Well, anyway, let's move on from Daily and let's talk about EL. EL has a new hairstyle. You know, he's our artist of the year.
Yeah.
I had rumored that he always put on the because he had something he was hiding there, and all of a sudden we saw what he was hiding, and his fans are not too pleased with his new look. You know, they're comparing his new look to pineapple. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, I hope what I said didn't come on air.
Okay, so that's EL's new look. And a lot of his fans are not, you know, happy about the look.
I can understand.
You know, some people are saying that he's trying to, you know, imitate Stoneboy's look. Others are saying that, you know, you look like pineapple, and actually somebody took the picture, put pineapple by the picture.
We just saw that.
And then EL comes back to say, you know, well, it looks like that's it. Actually, I actually eat pineapples. So, like they say, you are what you eat. That's what he also comes to post on social media. I don't know what.
You know, but you have a fan base, and people love you for what you do, and so they have a say in what you look like.
Nah, I don't know whether.
But does he say what motivated him to do?
He didn't say. You know, he's been keeping this for years, and I know that I've heard people say that, oh, anytime you meet EL, tell him to pull out the cup, and people have tried it several times, and he's refused to take it off, and he decided on his own now to, you know, take off the cup, and that's the surprise we get. Not too pleasant for a lot of people, though.
Well.
Anyway, so before I go, Links, Nigerian artist Links, who featured Jocelyn Duma in one of his videos, now says that, look, he's decided to become spiritual. He thinks that living the frivolous life is not what will take him anywhere. And he has turned a new leaf, and everybody's surprised that Links, you know, fine boy Links with all the girls around you.
You mean he says he's born again?
That's what basically he's saying, you know. I'm not too sure about that, but...
Well, I guess it's another Lord Kenya.
Well, I'm just thinking what the ladies will say, you know, because Links has always been a ladies' man. Like, really, Links?
Yeah, but it's okay. I mean, I can imagine angels rejoicing in heaven because there's been one more convert here. Another soul has been won. And, you know, I'm happy. I'll say, you know, welcome to the brotherhood.
Angels rejoice over me and also another soul that is going to be won tomorrow.
So, Links, you're welcome to the brotherhood.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Which one is that?
Born again.
Oh, when did they born you again?
I've always been born again.
When did they born you again? Eh?
A long time ago.
Long time ago?
Yeah.
How many years ago?
About 15 years.
Okay, so that's Born Again Israel, and I'll be born again tomorrow. Amen. All right, Israel, thanks for having me.
Thank you too, Miss G. Even though you don't believe me that I'm born again, I'm born again. We're bringing you sports after this.
Entertainment news was brought to
Right, time for sports, and Gary L. Smith, always energetic. You're coming with so much vim. Oof. What's coming up?
We are Bienja Open Fire.
Hey, okay. What's coming up?
Yeah, Black Stars are going to play against Mauritius, as you know, so they are still training and we are getting some feedback from them.
What's your take on their new training kits? The new
yes, there's been some interesting banter on Twitter. Yeah. So a lot of people either don't know the history of the Black Stars kits, or you know, the yellow is so imprinted, the yellow of the 90s is so imprinted in people's memories that they think that Ghana has worn yellow all along. But actually in the 50s, 60s and 70s and even the 80s, we've always worn white.
Okay.
You are older, so you remember.
Well, I haven't been following it that much, actually.
Yes. Actually, check this stat out. All the 4 African Cups we have won, we won with white.
Okay.
You know, so it's not really true. But to your main question, I think the new Puma is okay, but I feel there's nothing Ghanaian about it. You know, the other jersey we had, the last one, you could see some embossed stars in there, so you could feel a bit. This is just white, black. It looks nice. I mean, but for a training kit, it's okay. But we are hearing that it's going to be the main thing because Puma wanted to now test it on them. That's why it was used there.
It's going to be the main thing, as in the training kit.
The match kit, yes.
Oh, how?
Yeah.
I thought the training kit is different from the match kit.
Well,
all right, you take it away.
All right, so of training kits and match kits, the Black Stars are ready to play Mauritius. And as we've been saying all week, all they need is really a draw. The game will be played this weekend. Mauritius have not lost at home yet. And GFA spokesman Sani Dara speaks on Ghana's preparations ahead of the AFCON qualifier.
Well, the program for the Black Stars is that the team will train obviously today. It's most likely that we'll leave tomorrow for Mauritius for the match to be played on Sunday at 3 p.m. Mauritius time. Everything is in place. All the 23 players finally have arrived in camp. The last player to arrive was Alfred Duncan. Missed his flight because of flight problems in some parts of Europe. That apart from the 23 players, you might have seen one player who has joined the team in training, and his name is Joe Dodu. Dodu has indicated his desire to play for Ghana. He was born in Kumasi and has played for the England youth national team. There was a need for a nationality switch before he could play, but that has already, the process has been started. So he feels that it's necessary that he joins the team once he's in the country for holidays. And it was good for him to mingle with the players, get to know the players.
Foreign-based players coming into the Black Stars. Meanwhile, today, one of the sponsors of the team made a donation, and it was Glyco, the insurance firm. They gave the team 50,000 Ghana cedis, and Sani Dara spoke about the importance of insurance and so on.
There's a lot of excitement about what Glyco's been doing for Ghana football. They've been doing this thing for the past 25 years, and for that we are very, very appreciative of their desire to support football in many, many ways. Let me put it on record that hardly would you see companies coming to boost the team before even qualification is sealed. And this afternoon, Glyco made a presentation of 20,000 cedis to the team, and have also promised that for the remaining 2 matches against Mauritius and Rwanda, if the team wins, they will give them 7,500 cedis. That goes a very, very long way in boosting confidence in the team. But the most important one was an insurance cover of 500,000 cedis. Imagine a player going into a tackle, knowing that if I go into the tackle, even if I get injured, there's something to cushion me back home. It's a huge encouragement.
Right, from football we go to boxing, and this afternoon at the Kempinski Hotel in Accra, very plush I must say, Azuma Nelson and others were there. There's something called the VIP Boxing Fight Night, and it was launched today. Let me tell you a bit about it. So away from all the boxing that encourages the masses to come to the ring, the Kempinski Hotel, in partnership with Supersport and DSTV MultiChoice, are going to put up this boxing event. Now guess what? For the seating, this is how the pricing is going to be. It's going to be aimed at bringing corporate Ghana into it. So a table of 10 is going to seat corporate people, and each corporate is going to pay up to $10,000. You heard me right, $10,000. And then behind them, there's going to be a table that is going for $5,000 all the way to $2,000. The packages are amazing, really. But here's Azuma Nelson, who is the CEO of the eponymous group, Azuma Nelson Boxing Promotions, newly formed, speaking about it.
First of all, what we're doing is we want to bring Las Vegas to Ghana. We try to build these boxers to the highest level that they can go. I'm involved in this fight because we all can justify that all our boxers are not doing well. Most of the time, when you ask a boxer, why don't you train? He say, no, I don't have money to train, because you have to eat before you train. So we decided to come in, and then help these boxers to do their best they can do, because we have a lot of world champions in this country, but because of circumstances of their finance problems, they couldn't do what they're supposed to do. So today we decided to bring them up, and myself selecting the boxers to make sure that the people who are coming to watch the fight, they come to watch a good fight, and you'll be happy, and you know that your money that you paid, you had what you're supposed to get from your money. So I look for the number one and then the number two to fight, and I've been going to the gyms and seeing their training, and that's why I'm telling you that you'll be there early, because the fight is going to be very tough.
Okay, so that's it for the boxing. We go back to European football, and the Euros are 9 days away. France, the host nation, have arrived at their training camp in Austria. They are getting ready. Are you?